Hello everyone, I'm Sidhvita, a member of Krino Forensics, welcoming you all to another video. Before starting, let me ask you something. When a crime happens, we usually focus on evidence, investigation, and legal procedures. But have you ever wondered what about the mind behind the crime? How do we understand criminals' behavior? How do courts decide whether a person is mentally fit for trial? This is exactly where forensic psychology plays a crucial role. In today's session, we are going to understand forensic psychology, its meaning, history, concepts, roles, and its importance in legal system. So let's begin. Let us first understand what forensic psychology actually means. Forensic psychology is a branch of psychology that deals with the applications of psychological principles within the legal and criminal justice system. In simple terms, it connects psychology with law. It involves applying clinical, cognitive, and behavioral science to legal issues such as accessing competency to understand trial or evaluating eyewitness testimony. At this point, it is also important to distinguish it from forensic psychiatry. While forensic psychology focuses on behavioral assessment and analysis, forensic psychiatry is a medical field that deals with diagnosis and treatment of medical disorders. So, overall, forensic psychology helps in understanding human behavior in legal context. Now we understand the concept. It becomes very important to see how this field is actually developed over time. The development of forensic psychology began with early research on eyewitness testimony. One of the first contributors was J. McKean Cattle, who conducted experiments on memory and confidence levels in 1895. His findings showed that even confident witnesses could be inaccurate. This attracted attention from other psychologists like Alfred Bennett, who further explored memory and suggestibility. These early studies laid the foundation for understanding how human memory can affect legal decisions. As research progressed, more psychologists began contributing to this field. William Sten further studied eyewitness recall and found that emotions can reduce the accuracy of testimony. During the same period, psychologists also started appearing as expert witness in courts. Albert Wone testified in a murder case regarding suggestibility in testimony. Another key figure was Hugo Monstenberg, often considered the first forensic psychologist. He strongly advocated the application of psychology in legal matters and published his work on the witness stand. These contributions gradually strengthened the role of psychology in law. This progress continued with further scientific and legal developments. Louis Diamond applied psychological testing in law enforcement by developing intelligence tests. William work on blood pressure and deception later contributed to development of the polygraph. The Fair versus United States case in 1923 established that scientific evidence must be generally accepted to be admissible in court. Later cases developments expanded the role of psychologists as expert witness. Finally, in 2001, the American Psychological Association officially recognized forensic psychology as a specialization. With this historical background, we can now understand the different areas within forensic psychology. Now, let's talk about subdivisions of forensic psychology. Forensic psychology includes several specialized subfields. Clinical forensic psychology deals with individuals whose mental condition is relevant to legal decisions. Then, developmental psychology, which focuses on juveniles, elderly individuals, and legal policies. Then, we have social psychology, which examines how juries make decisions. Next, we have cognitive psychology, which focuses on decision making and memory in legal situations. Next, we have criminal investigative psychology, includes profiling, police psychology, and psychological autopsies. These subfields highlight how diverse and interdisciplinary this field is. Now, let's move to the core concepts that guide forensic psychology. The fundamental concepts of forensic psychology revolve around assessment and behavioral analysis. Psychologists evaluate individuals involved in legal cases, such as determining competency or risk of reoffending. They also analyze behavior in crime scenes and interrogations. The field draws from cognitive science, such as understanding memory and lie detection, from the victimology. Ethics also play a very important role, especially because forensic work happens in an adversarial legal system. Now, to understand its practical application, it is important to differentiate forensic and clinical approaches. Forensic interviews focus on collecting accurate and reliable information. They are objective, structured, and legally oriented. In this case, the court is considered the client. On the other hand, clinical interviews are therapeutic in nature. They focus on treatment, emotional support, and patient well being. Confidentiality is also different. It is limited in forensic settings but more protected in clinical practice. This distinction is essential to understand how psychologists operate in legal context. Now, let us focus on one of the most important tasks in this field, forensic assessment. Forensic assessment is conducted to answer specific legal questions such as competency and insanity. It involves clinical interviews, background checks, psychological testing, and review of records. Unlike clinical assessment, it is not meant for treatment but for forming objective opinion for the court. The relationship between psychologist and the client is not therapeutic but evaluative. This makes forensic assessment more structured and legally driven. Now, let us see the roles played by forensic psychologists in legal settings. Forensic psychologists perform several important roles. They assess competencies to stand trial, which means determining whether the persons understand legal proceedings. They evaluate criminal responsibility, also known as the insanity defense. They also deal with a case involving amnesia, substance abuse, and dissociative identity disorders. In addition, they help in predicting violent behavior and assist in sentence mitigation. These roles directly influence legal decisions and outcomes. Along with psychologists, another related field also plays a role in legal mental health. Forensic psychiatry is a medical field that deals with medical health in legal context. Psychiatrists are medical doctors who can diagnose disorders and prescribe medication. They focus more on biological aspects of mental illness. In contrast, forensic psychologists focus on behavior, assessment, and analysis. Both fields work together but differ in training, methods, and scope. Now, let us look at how psychology and law intersect overall. Forensic psychology plays a key role in bridging psychology and law. It helps courts to understand behavior, evaluate testimony, and assess offenders. Psychologists contribute to fair decision making by identifying biased, false confessions, and errors in judgment. This integration improves the overall justice system. However, working in such a system also comes with ethical responsibilities. Ethical considerations are crucial in forensic psychology. Psychologists must inform individuals about limits of confidentiality. They must ensure informed consent and transparency in evaluations. They also need to maintain objectivity and avoid bias. Cultural awareness and professional integrity are also essential. These ethical principles ensure fairness and reliability in legal process. Now let us look at specific assessments related to mental competency. Mental competency assessment determines whether a person can understand legal proceedings and assist in their defense. Psychologists evaluate cognitive ability, decision making, and mental state. They also assess mental disorders such as schizophrenia, personality disorders, mood disorders, and substance abuse. These conditions can influence criminal behavior and legal responsibility. Such evaluations are crucial for ensuring justice and appropriate treatment. With this, we have covered the major aspect of forensic psychology. So, to conclude, forensic psychology is a vital field that connects human behavior with the legal system. It helps in understanding criminals, evaluating mental states, and supporting fair legal decisions. From history to modern applications, it plays a crucial role in justice delivery. And for students of forensic science, it is essential area to understand. Thank you for watching. I hope this session helped you to clearly understand about the basics of forensic psychology. If you have any doubt or want us to explain any forensic topics, please comment below so we can cover them in our future forensic videos. The presentation document will also be shared on our social media platforms. You can directly access it from there. And stay tuned to Krino Forensics for more informative sessions on forensic science. Thank you.